Happy Sunday, YouTube. I'll get right into the feature story here, and then I'll go start from the beginning and kind of explain why I was dashing on a Sunday and go over the rest of the dash. Real quick, first a decline here at the start of the dash. 625, 9 miles Starbucks, not doing that. That's 100%, as you see on the screenshot, taking place out of zone. So that was a decline. And then, so immediately after declining that, I get this order, and this is the subject order of the video. So 1925, 13 miles going to West Columbus, not too far out of zone. Only 5 items. Went ahead and took this. Um, so here are the items. The broccoli woccoli, two packages of that, some bowls, which I had to substitute for the Meyer brand, and the two chicken breasts. So I head to the chicken first, and so I go to scan the first package, and it says it's too much weight, and not by very much. And then, so let's go to the next screenshot here. So you see here in the middle of the screen, I was supposed to get a package between 4.45 and 4.95 pounds. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, the first one I scanned was probably under 5 pounds. It's probably like 4.99 or something. And then I go to scan my next package, and this one, the second one, was not enough. It was this one was 4.4, so I was like five. What is that? 5 hundredths of a pound off. And like, this first time I've seen something like this where I bought chicken, hamburger, meats, stuff like that before, weighted items many times before on these shop and delivers. And this is the first time I've seen something where it has to be within that small of a specific range like that. So it's like, you're telling me that 4.45 is the minimum. A customer wouldn't be okay with a package that was 4.4. I mean, come on. That's like, I don't know. These, hopefully going forward, when I go to on these shop and pays, when the meats, the vegetables. Hopefully, I don't see this again too often, because it's already hard enough sometimes finding the right package, and the right, like, sometimes, and this has happened to me multiple times before, they don't have the family packs of chicken, but they will have like the smaller packs that just have like two or three breasts, and you run into that kind of thing. Now you're making it like even harder with this right here, this range. But on this particular order, I got lucky. There was quite a few packs there, and I found two that was within that range. And I got lucky, but yeah. Again, hopefully this isn't something that's gonna. I don't know if the customer requested this specific range or how that works. I don't know. Um, Me personally, I think it should have just been like anything 4 point something should have been okay. Give or take a pound. That's what that would have made more sense to me. Not narrowing it down to just a half a pound range. I mean, because come on, like, just if it just said 4 point something, and I got one package. It was 4.1 pounds, and the other one was 4.9 pounds. I mean, don't you think that should be okay for most people? Why are you breaking it down like this? I don't know. But anyway, and then I got the rest of it shopped. Got this delivered at 6:49. There you see, there was a peak pay for pretty much my whole dash this morning. So $8.75 and the dollar peak, $9.50 tip for $19.25. This took me just 38 minutes to make the $19.25. So awesome job there. Okay, so now backtracking to the why I was dashing today. So yesterday, actually, this all started Friday night. I have a good idea of what may have happened. I'm not 100% sure. But Friday night, I spiked my sugar level way up to almost like probably more than double what it's supposed to be. Went to work yesterday morning, only lasted 2 hours. I felt absolutely like miserable, and I couldn't think, I couldn't concentrate. I was probably a danger to myself and others at work yesterday. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get out of here. I had time to use. And I over the next probably 4 or 5 hours, I tested my sugar twice, and it didn't come down that much. It was still high. So sometimes these things take like a couple days of clean eating, drinking water. It can take 2 or 3 days to come back down. So I didn't think that I was kind of concerned about today. So I called back into work and scheduled today off. They approved it. Like I said, I had the time to use, so I was able to get today scheduled off and to give that more time to come back down. I need to check it again after this video, but it 4 o'clock this morning when I woke up, that's normally about when I wake up for work for the W-2, it was still high. It's still over 300. So I'm going to check it again here shortly. But I figured I would log in for Dash, and if I felt up to it this morning, and, worst case scenario, if I got out there on the road and felt absolutely, completely miserable on the first order, I just log off and come home. And I don't get too many opportunities to dash on a Saturday or Sunday. I've talked about that before, so I figured let's go ahead and try it. So start time for the dash was 6:11 this morning, and I already talked about the first decline in that first order. So next after that was, and I should say that I was on fire this morning, staying busy. If you see here, that first order was before 6 o'clock in the morning, right around that $20 range, and then I get, right after delivering that, I get this $21.75. So I'm basically, before like 7:30, 7:45 in the morning, I'm going to be at like $40. And it stayed busy for a few hours, and then everything tailed off, but I'll get to that. So you see here, 7:08 in the morning, 21.75 going to South Columbus, but hey, that's okay. And you see, part of the reason for the mileage is my positioning. I'm north of the mire, so I had to come south to get to Meyer, then travel back up north again. So had I had already been at the Meyer, this would have only been like probably like 15 miles would have been a better offer. But like I said, because of my positioning. Um, and then so here's the list. I cringe every time I see this fresh pet because and sure enough on today's order I go up to where that is the coolers, and the cooler on the left is completely totally empty, and they only have stuff in the right hand cooler, and they don't have this. But fortunately, they had the substitutes. I don't get it. I don't know why they can't keep fresh pet products stocked, but whatever. A couple Gatorades, Diet Coke. All the rest of this was like super easy. Those other 5 items really easy to find. Uh, then I get, so you see that shopping list at 7:17. 4 minutes into my shop, I get this stack for $6. Only an additional tenth of, or I'm sorry, 9/10 of a mile. Only 4 items. So I went ahead and took it. Figuring this for a shopping order, this is probably a $6 from DoorDash, zero tip. That's what I was guessing, but I'll get to the pay screen on that. But yeah, if I only got to shop for 4 more things, and I'm only driving not even another mile. So yeah, I'll go ahead and stack this on. Um, I didn't get a screenshot of the items on the stack, but it was a small watermelon, a 6 pack of water, and some Halls drops. That was the only bad thing about the 4 items. For one of them, I had to go across the store to HBC to get the Halls. So that kind of sucked a little bit, and then come back to the other side of the store because that's where the only open registers and where I was parked. Um, and then and I can't remember the fourth item. So I go and deliver the first one, 10.75, the dollar peak, and a $10 tip on that. So outstanding. Uh, that was at 7:55, and go to deliver the second order, and there was a tip on that. Only $2 DoorDash base pay on this. And I suppose that's all they had to pay because they probably, the system, maybe that order just came across, and the order that I was on, all they had to do was price that at $2. That's all the system had to price it at, with that $3 tip in the peak, and we could, there was a good chance that I'd take it, and I did. So, whatever. And so for the two orders, start to finish, so 7:08 to drop the second one off at 8:02. So that's almost an hour, 6 minutes shy of an hour, start to finish, and made 27.75. So that works for me. Next was a decline. So this was, I'm driving back to zone when I get this $11 11-mile TJs going to that South High Rathmel Road area. There's a lot of construction that's been going on for months and months and months and months over in that area, and I'm not messing around with that. TJ sometimes is slow, especially on a Sunday morning. That place is going to be slammed. Not messing with this one. And so I declined that, and only a minute later get a better offer. 12.50. I'm only driving 5 miles, and for 2 orders. White Castle. You see on the map here, White Castle and Bob Evans are like across the street from each other. So I went ahead and took this. Um, and had about a probably like a 3 to 4 minute wait on each order. So that kind of sucked a little bit, and as expected, the Bob Evans was busy. And then I dropped the White Castle was the one that delivered last. Um, so you see $2 from DoorDash plus the peak, 3.50 tip and a $5 tip. It's kind of funny when the White Castle customer met me in the driveway, and I go to pull that sack out of I open up my hot bag, and steam starts pouring out the hot bag, and the White Castle, like the sack is like hot and steaming and got like sweat on the sack. And I said something to the customer. I was like, "Man, this thing stayed really hot," or whatever I said, and he started laughing. It's kind of funny. Um, then I got an order right away. I still in the customer's driveway when I get this, and I did. This isn't a bad order. 5.50 for 2.5 miles. It's not bad. But the thing about it is that I'd gotten off to a really good start here with a couple $20 orders, and then that 12.50 stack, and I was kind of on a roll here, so I guess I just didn't want to piddle around with a 5.50 order at this particular time, because let's see if I want to get another higher dollar order here, and sure enough, only a minute later, boom, there you go, another $20 order. So uh, good thing I declined that Wendy's. Uh, Good order here. Both places on Stringtown Road, IHOP and Bob Evans, and I only had to drive 5.5 total miles, $20. Awesome. And so I think I went to yeah, it was the IHOP first, picked that up, and then the Bob Evans, and don't really remember much from those drop offs. There and completed the second one at 9:14. So this was all total 31 minutes. You're talking of a $40 an hour pace here, for that order. Outstanding. 225 to $2 peak. $5 tip, and then the Bob Evans customer tipped 11.01. That was awesome. And then so 4 minutes later, I get a decline. $7, 5.3 miles. I I didn't want to mess around with that Jackson Pike 104 area. I don't know. I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to go over that area. This isn't horrible, but again, I should be able to get something better. I'm thinking that I'm still going to be on a roll, and then boom. So 1 minute later, I get something better. Not a lot better because I gotta shop this, and it is $6, or I mean 6 items, but $8 1 mile. Great. So as far as mileage goes, this is a great order. The only thing is, I do gotta shop 6 items, and I don't think I don't know if I got a. I don't think I got a screenshot of the items or not. But and then this I declined. Just 1 minute later, they gave me this stack, additional 1478, 16 items. But I was gonna have to go to South Columbus for this, so I went ahead and declined this. Um, and here's the drop off. So drop this off at 9:39. So this was 20 minutes start to finish from getting the offer to drop off. It just delivered right across the street to the apartment complex right across from the Meyer. 350 and then my dollar peak and 350 tip, $8 easy. Then that's when everything kind of died on me. I was on that roll and making good. So at this point, I was at, the dash was just what, in 3 hours and 20 minutes, I'd made, and that's, total dash time. 3 hours and 20 minutes, I'd made like 92 or what, no, I'm sorry, like 80, roughly $88 to this point. And yeah, let's keep this going. Do a couple more like $20 orders, and heck, I may even break my record today. I don't know. But nope, things took a nosedive here. It says at 9:39. Immediately, I got this 1250 10-mile Meyer. I took this against my better judgment. I should not have taken this order, but going out to that Obetz Road area, South High Street, I don't know. I should have waited for something that was more like staying in zone at this point, but I took this. It ended up being the 4 items. Well, I got 3 of the items written down. It was a bunch of beets, fresh beets from the produce, a pitcher, Rubbermaid pitcher, and a personal size watermelon. And the pitcher was the last thing I went to look for, and I struggled to find that. And he went into the aisle. I'm going back and forth down that aisle. I don't see any pictures. And then maybe it's in another aisle. So I start going to some of the other aisles in housewares. I don't find it. I come back to the aisle that the app says. And look at this. It's all the pictures is all the way down on the floor, bottom shelf. That's why I missed it. And I thought, you see the taller one that's all the way buried in the back corner. I thought that was the one that the customer requested. And like, how do you like this? It's buried clear back on the floor, clear back in the back of the shelf. But no, it was the smaller one to the left of that is what the customer requested. And then so I deliver that, and check this out. $11.50 and the dollar peak pay, 0 tip on this order. Thank you very much. Like I said, I didn't have a good feeling about taking this order, and it's this proof right here why I shouldn't have taken it. But it's so funny on the base pays on these orders, because the one that was $8, I would have assumed that would have been the one with the 0 tip. But no, it was the one paying $12.50 that had the 0 tip. Go figure. And then after that, I made my way back home. Sorry, guys. Made my way back to zone. Also, one other thing about that order is DoorDash GPS routed me a way that I would not have taken. So uh, again, another small little issue with that GPS. I keep saying how I might be switching back to Google, and again, not a major issue, but still, it was an issue. Um, Start making my way back to zone. I put the dash on a pause while I got some gas and a car wash, and put the and resumed the dash, and decided to come back home. And I got inside the door, refilled my drink, was getting ready to take the dog outside. I hooked on his leash and like had my hand like on the lock to unlock the door to go outside when I got this order. And $8, 5.8 miles. Normally an order that I would take from home, but not. I was practically like I was at the my $100, and the dog was ready to go outside, and I'm still gonna take him out. I'm not gonna you know um, not take him out for just an $8 order. So decline this one. And all these declines I'm about to show, all of these is when I'm outside walking around the property with my dog. Every one of these. They're coming in fast and furious here. 1675, 12 miles, Meyer. I'd already decided that at this point I'm already at my $100. I'm not going out of zone anymore for this dash. So I'm kind of looking for something, double digits in pay and staying in zone. Maybe like one last order. And I was going to be getting hungry for lunch soon, so I was just looking for one order here to do. And this wasn't it, going out of zone. 6 minutes later, 550, 6 mile Chipotle, not doing that. Kind of was hoping for something at least $10. 2 minutes later, 1725, but 15 miles going to South Bloomfield. So one way, the dollars to miles is good, but I gotta come all the way back. So you're talking 13, 14 miles, whatever it is, from that customer back home. So um, didn't want to mess with this. Seems like South Bloomfield. I had two in the last dash, and one in this one. Those people down there are, starting to use DoorDash more, I guess. Uh, I declined this one. I don't know. This kind of meets my criteria that I talked about. I was looking for double digits, okay, $15, 7 miles, okay, but I didn't want to go to Aldi's and shop for 15 items. I don't know. There could have been some multiples in there. Maybe it wasn't that bad of an item, but I didn't want to chance it. Obviously I'm not doing this. And after I got this offer, I was like, okay, I guess I'm not going to get anything really, really good now. I'm just going to, log off after this $4 4 mile offer. So I logged off at 11:09. There you see, so 9 deliveries, dash time. Even if you take my the amount of money I made total dash time, I made over $20 an hour total dash time today. That's great. So dash time 4 hours 57 minutes, was active 3 hours 35. Made $100 26 cents. And then So my total mileage drove was 74 miles. So good job there. My AR dropped, started the dash at 53% and it dropped down to 48. And that is it for today's dash. And the plan is to go back to the W2 for 1 day tomorrow, and then not really sure yet, kind of like the schedule for this coming week, but hope to at some point get back out dashing, and just you'll probably see a video or two next week, I would imagine. And so anyway, that's all I have for today. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, be sure to drive safe out there. We'll catch you next time.